Hello, welcome to Hook Legends, and thanks for watching today's episode. I'm Henry, your host. Now guys, in just a few minutes, I'm going to take you down to the lake. We're going to go down there and we're going to see if we can take out some fish out the water and put them in the boat. But I want to address a few things before we go down there and do that. First and foremost, as always, I like to thank all of our subscribers. I appreciate your support. And for all of you who like the tips and the entertainment, and you're watching these videos and you have not subscribed, do me a favor right now. Please reach up, click subscribe and like. Make sure you click the notification bell so you'll be alerted when future videos are released. So guys, I got a couple of things I want to discuss here real quick, and I want to give you some tips for summer fishing. I know sometimes I'm out there and I'm catching fish, I'm putting the fish in. I try to give as many tips on the boat while I'm actually fishing, but sometimes I kind of get back and I think about some things, and I decided that there's a few more tips that I could have given you. So first thing I want to talk about is location. Now guys, we're kind of at the end of the summer here, and it's been hot. The fish has been very lethargic. You know, one tip that I've always liked to put out there is that make sure you downsize. You know, I like to use a 1/32 ounce jig, and I mean when the bite gets extremely tough, I'll even go down to a 164. Now when I use a 164 jig, it's a tiny jig, and I'll put maybe just a split shot piece of lead on it to kind of get it to go down. Otherwise, if I can get the fish to go for a 1/32 ounce jig, then I don't put the split shot on there. And that's if I'm fishing brush piles. If I'm fishing brush piles, logs, lay down, stumps, I'm going to flip it out there and I'm going to spot lock my boat and just let that bait kind of ease down there real slow. Okay, so make sure you kind of use the proper bait. Now, I want the proper size. So another tip I want to give you is the location, guys. The most important thing when you are fishing for summer crappie is location. I don't care how good you can cast. You know, I don't know how good the bait is that you're fishing with. If you're not going to find fish, you're not going to catch fish. Alright? So, here's what I do, guys. Now, there's no shortcut to it. I mean, there is no shortcut to doing your homework. I used to go out and use my side scan and my down imaging to find fish, but to be honest with you, I've done that enough. I know where the fish are. I know where they are year round, guys. I don't have the side scan anymore. I think I have pretty close to 300 waypoints stored. So, but there's no shortcut for you doing your homework. But I want to talk real quickly here about the location. You know, I think you should have the proper mindset. I think there's a lot of people that think, well, oh, in the springtime they're here, in midsummer they're here, late summer they're there, in summer they're there. Guys, not all of the fish are in the exact same location, okay? I'll give you an example. Even in this video, if you pay close attention, sometime I'm out, you know, towards the middle of the lake, out there fishing around the river channel ledges. Sometimes I'm actually, this time of year, I'm actually at the mouth of the creek, and even slightly, you know, maybe 100 yards up into some of these creeks, depending on the depth of the creek. So, not all of the fish are in the same place at exactly the same time. So, now, I do believe that some of your bigger fish seem to be out in those deepest points of what I just said. So, today I want to tell you what a ledge is, because when I got serious about crappie fishing, I was doing a lot of research and collecting information, and people said, oh, they're out by the ledges, and I didn't really want to know exactly what a ledge was. Here's a ledge, guys. If you ever crossed over a bridge or a river and you look at it, if you look at it, the ledge is the part that you will be standing on if you're sitting right there next to the river fishing. Assuming you know the lake's not flooded and you're just standing by your average everyday river at the edge of the woods, and the water's running right there, right in front of your feet. The ledge is the part that you're standing on, okay? So now the lake's flooded. The river channel still goes through that body of water. The river channel is still going through the lake, okay? So the part that you will be standing on, that highest bank that comes up and then starts sloping off, that's your ledge. So some of my best spots in the summertime is on those ledges. It gives the fish comfort and safety, okay? They hang out on that ledge. Even though there's probably not enough oxygen off that ledge and down, they like being close to it. I think they like an escape route to go down in there. Fish will also use those ledges kind of like we use in river channels, like we use highways, okay? So they go out in it and they'll travel up and down to go to new location. Now, You're gonna find a ton of fish during the middle of the summer, and all this is dependent on your lake, guys. It also depends on a given lake, the part of the lake that you're fishing in. I fish an area. I fish the deepest end of the lake. I fish the part of the lake where it gets down like 40 feet deep. There's also some up on the upper end. You know, you're in the middle of the river and you might get, I don't know, 18, 20 feet, depends on how far back up lake that you go. So just keep that in mind. The fish are not always in exactly the same place. On any given fishing trip, if I'm catching fish out on the river's ledge in the middle of the lake, chances are I can catch some in the mouth and maybe 1/3 back in the creek, okay? Also, if the fish are in the back of the creek, chances are I can catch some in the middle of the creek and towards the mouth. You get it? I can normally catch them 3 levels back. Not all of these fish move at the same time as a group. So if you can't find them in one place, go check the other. You know, I kind of like having some spots midway back in the creek. That way, if the wind is blowing, I still have some protection, guys. I can still get out and fish without being out there on the main body of the lake, where the waters could be a lot rougher, you know, due to the wind blowing around out there. I also want to say, guys, that the wind, the water temperature is cooling down. So the fish are, in the past week or two, they're just reacting differently than they were, you know, a couple of weeks ago. And that's because, you know, if you get a couple of overcast days, cloudy days, rain, the water temperature can cool down 2, 3, maybe 4 degrees real quick. You know, so the water temperature was up around 92. I've seen it in some spots around 86, 87. So as that water temperature cools, these fish get a little bit more active. You can probably go to a slightly bigger bait. Maybe go up to, I don't know, 1/8 ounce, 1/16 ounce bait. You know, and a regular size bait without having to do what I do, which is cut it off and make it a little bit shorter. So, you know, those are some tips that I wanted to give you. Before we jump out of here and go down to the lake and catch some fish, I want to ask you guys, hey, are you guys interested in seeing like shell crackers, bluegills, catfish, bass fishing? Now, maybe this is something that's best for a survey, but if you would, just drop me a line. Drop me a line down in the comment and see if you think, let me know if you have any interest of seeing any other kind of fishing. I notice, even though the summer's about over, guys, I'm always thinking ahead, and I noticed that in the summertime, guys, I rarely see another crappie fisherman out there in the midsummer. I don't see too many brim and catfish fishermen either, but I do see a lot more panfish fishermen, non-crappie panfish fishermen in the summertime, but just rarely crappie fish out there. So, but just let me know if you have any interest in seeing bluegill, catfish, bass fishing. I mean, I used to be a pretty decent bass angler, you know, and sometimes I see lots of bass out there on my live scope when I'm out there fishing, but I kind of keep my focus. I love crappie fishing, guys, so I'm usually out there fishing for crappie, but I see a lot of bass. I see tons of catfish. So if you want to see some catfish, you know, slung over in the boat, just let me know. I'm also my wife and I, we're going to be starting a building project here, where we're going to be building a house, our dream home down on Lake Tappan. And I'm thinking about doing some videos. Let me know if you're interested in seeing those. Thinking about doing some videos so we can kind of monitor and share that project with you. It's something that's special to us. And my wife and I, we want to include you in that. So let me know if that's something that you'll be interested in seeing, because we're probably going to move forward with it. I think I have pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover here. And now we need to jump in the boat, go out there, see if we can take some fish out the water, and put them in the boat. Let's get to the action. Nailed him. Little guy came up there, wanted something to eat. Little guy came up there and wanted something to eat, y'all. Ah, nice little fish. Get back out there, buddy. Yes, sir. Nailed him. Nailed him. They're fidgety, guys, but you can nail some. They're fidgety, but you can nail a few. Get this guy back in the water. Got him. Got him. Nailed him. Not a big fish, but still a fish, folks. Not a big one, but still a fish. See ya. Got him. Finessed him. Finessed him right out of his scales, guys. Finessed him. They're not big. Not big. Fun to catch. See ya. Beautiful skies.